Linda is one of our incredible certification students, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about her journey in the WLA coaching certification. So Linda, welcome. I'm so thrilled to have you here. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously doing amazing things in the world, so I'm really excited to share more of that today with all of our amazing ladies. But I think maybe the best place to start is if you want to tell me a little bit more around why you decided to join in the first place.
I started following you a couple of years ago, and the first thing that drew me was that, because I'm obviously a fit pro, but the first thing that really drew me was your good self, but the guides, and I loved them. I thought they were just so, the nutritional profile on them was really good, and they tasted really nice. So I joined. I joined everything. I joined the reset and joined the academy, and I continued to follow you. And the first time the certification came up, because I didn't know right at the very start that you had a certification. And when the first one came up, I had already went back to university because, my first degree is business, but I love being a fit pro. And I've done quite a bit of nutritional training and, education. But I thought, maybe I need to do a postgraduate in clinical nutrition. So I embarked on the course, which I have to say was very tough. So I did nutrition through the life courses, and I was doing really well. And I thought, well, do you know what? You have got the capabilities of doing that, because it'd been a long time since I did any real science. But I was surprised at how much I had retained. And, I'm nearly 60. And not that that's anything, right? It is not, but I'm a fit pro. And I came to a crossroads, and I thought, do you know what? Do I really want to be a clinical nutritionist? Do I want to go on and do that? So I started looking about, because they'd like health degrees, and I thought, well, maybe, because I was doing all the compulsory modules at the time, and that was one of them. But that compulsory module allowed you to then, say you decided that you wanted to go and do female health studies or something like that, you could have gone on and did that.
Yeah.
And of course, you were there in the background, and I was still watching the things that you were doing, all of the, what you spoke about. And it was starting to make a lot more sense to me, in so much as that I just had so much information that I needed to articulate. And that was, but I just didn't know how to. I thought, how am I going to put this together? Because my head was full of exercise physiology. I loved the nutrition. I'd done a life coaching diploma. So I had all the elements there. I just didn't know how I could bring them together in a cohesive way.
Yeah.
And then up pops. It was like the universe had conspired.
Oh, it does that.
It does indeed. And you popped up. You know what? I'm going to have a chat with Anna and see if this is the route that I need to go down. And I'll still remember that interview today. I think, it'll just, come on for half an hour and let's chat about the certification, which I think is a marvellous step for somebody. Yeah. And of course, I ended up keeping you there for about an hour and a bit, something like that. Not like you had anything else to do in your life.
Yeah, it was great.
After that conversation, you were just so helpful. Asking me questions, getting me to contemplate, and I was reflecting on whether it was the right. And you asked me a really important question. It never even crossed my mind, to be honest. And you said, "Do you want to be a clinical nutritionist? Do you want to work for the NHS?" And I was instantly, no, I don't, because I'm a fit pro and I love serving ladies, and I've done this for a long time, even though I've had brick and mortar business. That is a different story, but I've taught ladies for a long time, and that's my passion. It's my vocation. I love it so much, and I just thought, that's it. I'm just going to go and do the certification. And
wow.
hence,
Yeah.
but it was you asking me that question.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Just sometimes that one question is really what makes you sort of think deep down inside, you know,
Yeah.
is this the right thing? That's incredible. I remember our conversation very well. It was great.
Yeah, it was a great conversation.
Yeah,
And I
really
just
was.
felt so different. You can see the thing about being at university, which is all well and good, and doing certifications, and that's all well and good. But people come on to the Weight Loss Academy because you're there, because the rest of the team are there, because the rest of the coaches are there. They love it. The women are there. You can see it in the support groups. You can see it in the resets. You know, it shines out. And when you're at university and you're maybe a mature student, you're not there live on campus. You're doing everything online. You know, you really need to be very, very disciplined as well.
Yeah.
And it's quite lonely because you don't get to know anybody. You know, and you think, well, what am I doing this for? You know, it's all right, maybe if somebody had been like 30 years younger, and maybe that's the road that they wanted to go down, but it just wasn't sitting right with me after a while. And it's not to say that what I've done there, it's fantastic. I mean, the education was outstanding, it really was, but wasn't going to serve me the way that I wanted to serve.
Yeah, I get that 100%. It's amazing to hear. How did you find like going through all the like the modules, like the assessments, all that, and then obviously getting finished up?
Well, you can see that you have thought very, very carefully, and you've done your due diligence. This has taken you a time, a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat and emotion.
Yes.
So that you could put something that would be able to serve anybody that was coming in, that really had an interest in helping, you know, the ladies that join the resets, and, you know, the ladies that come into the academy. You know in the volumes that the work that you put in, you've really assessed what is going to be helpful. And I remember when I first joined, this is what I just loved about Jan, and the fact that you had been contemplating these things for a long time, these big questions, and you'd looked at the government guidelines, and people say, government guidelines, you know, a healthy plate. And I just remember you saying, what does a healthy day look like?
Yeah.
Dull, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
What does a healthy day look like? And I thought, you know, what does a healthy life look like?
Yes.
And these things just resonated with me so much. They really did. And everything set out logically through the nutritional rehabilitation part. It's very important that you have got an understanding of how things work. And then joining up the behavioural change, and that really, you know, the first, and that's where I was. It's okay, exercise, very clinical. This is your nutritional profile, but you're still self-sabotaging yourself. You still got this fierce inner critic. So there's no change in your behaviour when you look at yourself in the mirror and go, oh my God, I've got a bit of a muffin top, or, you know, oh my God, you've got stretch marks. You know, so you've got all of these things going, so you never join the dots, but there you had. And then the coaching side of it, you know, well, how does somebody who was where you were get to, you know, the end of that? So very logically set out, a lot of work, a lot of deep work has gone into this. It's not been an overnight thing. And I just found it very logical, easy to follow. But of course, there is a monumentous amount of support.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You know, it's like me at university, here's the PCs, you know, pre-recorded stuff with the lecturer talking, the professor talking, you know, which was all well and good, but
absolutely. And you see that with you ladies as well, like also because, you know, I was saying this, I think it was to Pamela the other day, but some of you ladies that got finished up earlier, obviously then you're sharing, okay, I did this or I did that. And also you could see that once you ladies had finished, you know, and qualified, then everybody was like, oh, okay, it's my turn now, it's my turn. So you're really also like leading the way for everybody else as well. And I think that's a powerful thing about the community side of things, you know.
And just encouraging one another.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Was there, like, I know for you, was there anything you feel like that you really enjoyed yourself personally? I remember obviously you sharing a lot of the behavioral change sort of stuff, especially from your own journey, which was, you know, always really great to hear. So was that something for you that was really powerful?
It was. That
Yeah.
was my biggest personal achievement. See, the clinical education is very important, and it's there, you know, it has to be there because you have to understand what's happening. But being able to move on to the behavioural change, as I say, that was all that I did know. It was 2D for me, you know, and even though I'd done a life coaching, a really good diploma as well, it was still just 2D for me.
Yeah.
And I hadn't really delved that much. So even although, you know, I had the clinical education, the behaviour hadn't changed until I went. I was still looking and going, oh, your six pack's not really showing, or, you know, just, no, you know, there's like rubbish like that. And it was, I just, and then when we did the inner critic quiz, I thought mine's is like an opera singer.
Yeah. It really does make you, because when you're going through that stuff, obviously with the view of helping others in the future, but it does make you stop and reflect. What does this look like for me? You know, that's when things can get interesting, especially when we talk about it all together then as well, you know.
Definitely. And it was great. And it's really a fantastic experience, you know, when you do input to the groups in the Zoom, you know, on the Zoom calls, and everybody's encouraged to share, because we're, you know, it's such a compassionate, connected community. Yeah. There's absolutely zero judgment, and it makes it easy. So then it makes your healing easy as well. Especially if you have got a fierce inner critic, if you have got a self-sabotager that's in you, it makes you think, my goodness me, I have got a wonderful body. You know, I don't need to talk to myself like that, because these were the things that I was doing. So the behavioural change part for me was very much my biggest personal achievement, where I really did look at what I was doing. Yeah, the fact is, you know, you can say all of these things, but the work's in the action you're taking. And so after we did these, I just went from strength to strength. I know hardly, all right, I'm not going to lie, you know, I would say maybe she could have been on a 9.75 out of 10, and I've probably reduced her to a 2 out of 10 now, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing.
For me, that was my biggest personal achievement.
Yeah, that is so wonderful to hear. Amazing. And for you, like, I know, I think we've kind of touched on this to a degree, like, what was it that made you think, right, I'm going to go for this? Was it like that one question that I asked you, or do you feel like you know, what was it that was like, right, this is it?
I think it was that interview. I think it's anybody, chat to you. Don't be scared. Because sometimes, you know, you can be a wee bit nervous, think, oh, what is she going to say? Is she going to let me into the certificate? Am I going to be good enough? Because all these things are going to go through your head. But I would urge anybody just to chat to you. You know, and any fears, any thoughts about being good enough for it or that, you know, put them to one side and just DM you, come onto your chat, and just speak to you.
Yeah, I know. I you know, I do have lots of conversations with people, I mean, before the call happens, and I feel that from people, you know, they're actually afraid to even speak to me. And I'm like, I'm the most easygoing person that you will probably speak to. Like, I am not going to put you in the firing line here. No. You know, and actually I'm the type of person that I'll sit and I'll chat away, you know, but I think that is true, that people are, gosh, you know, like, what's she going to say, or am I going to have to join? And I also say to people as well, like, it's no problem if you're not going to join, because maybe it isn't the right fit for you, and that's also okay. Like, we can also figure that out together, you know, which I think is a beautiful thing as well.
That's
no
it's
pressure, you know?
absolutely a beautiful thing. Absolutely a
Yeah.
wonderful thing. For me, it was, just the questions, because I was stuck. I was at the crossroads because I really just had so much information. I thought, I'm just compounding information on information.
Yeah.
And just to get the somebody even just looking for clarity, who might, they've got that ability to go and help serve the ladies. We talk about the bigger picture, the obesity problems, everything, frailty, the whole lot, because it's things that I'm interested in. I'm interested in longevity and that sort of thing. So, just even having these chats could change your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever.
So true. Yeah, absolutely. Powerful conversations, right?
Yeah. Stellar conversations.
Absolutely. So, you're doing amazing things, right? So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your vision, your mission. Tell us the info.
Well, I have 3 things that I'm interested in, and that's about having a good, healthy, strong nutritional profile.
Yeah.
And remember that you're a soul with a body. It's not the other way about, for me anyway. It's a soul with a body, a personality, and an ego. And your body's a physical energy. So it needs to be fed properly, and it also needs to be exercised. And it's that kind, compassionate, kind, non-judgmental ability, for you to give to it in terms of moving forward in your life.
Yeah.
And frailty for me, because obviously I'm very physical, I come from the physical, and frailty for me is something that I'm just not wanting to entertain. I'm looking at longevity. Remember, every statistics point to the fact now that there's going to be more elderly people in this world than there will be kids eventually. And it's a big, big population. It's a big statistic. And for us to be able to be healthy, we can, as you age, you can do everything that anybody else can do. Obviously, there's different recovery, there's different physiology, a different personality, because you end up like things that bothered you when you were younger, they just don't bother you anymore. So everything changes. And it's about how you talk about, what does a healthy day look like? What does a healthy life look like? 5 million cases of diabetes, type, and 9 out of 10 is type 2. Big, big statistics. That was in the Lancet. And so, how do we make sure that our lives can be healthy and happy? That we can live the life. I want to be running you love having ice cream with your son. I want to have ice cream with my granddaughter.
Yes.
And not be burdened by, the fact that perfectionism or self-sabotage, but also thinking about your own future health. And that's where my vision is in terms of, and it will be mainly, I would say, people that are struggling like over 40, perimenopausal, menopausal, which is the party, but then postmenopausal, if you're losing 3% of your muscle mass, every single year of your life, as you move on in years, how are you able to retain that? You'd be able to retain that by having a good nutritional profile that includes protein at every meal, something at the WLA that we're always saying, have protein at every meal if you can, because that's going to help to maintain your muscle mass. Because your body's a physical energy, it needs to be fed properly as well. So it's looking at all of these things as well. How does it get exercised? Finding movement that you love is another part of the fat loss formula, isn't it? Is to include activity. So all of these elements in the fat loss formula come to make something very, very powerful. And, as we're getting up in years, we don't recover the same. So it's about how we're going to look after ourselves and to fight chronic disease, to fight frailty, to have a lot, and thinking more about health span. I know loads of people that have got a longer lifespan, but they have got no quality of life. They can't even go out the door. So that's where it lies for me, Anna.
Oh, that's very, very exciting. And I can feel your passion. And it's really, really amazing. I guess, like, I feel like I could talk to you a lot about this, but I want to ask you, I do want to ask you one thing. What's like one piece of advice for somebody that is maybe a bit older and doesn't really move much, but they want to do something? What's the best thing for that person?
Well, we talk a lot about SMART goals in the certification, don't we? And it's basically about someone having a wee SMART goal. What could they manage? You're not asking somebody to do air jacks straight away, but even, a solitary walk in nature. The weather's nice. You've got nature's beautiful. You can go out and you can contemplate things. If you join in some, doing some gentle exercise, just having wee SMART goals. Like, if I'm teaching exercise, I'll just start off with, even if you can't hop from side to set from side to side, putting the options in so as that you don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel that you've not done anything for a while, and without turning into a science thing, you want to get into a fat burning modes, and there's loads of ways that you can do that as well, but you have to work your way up to it. You can't just start and go, right, I'm going to run a 10K. Things like Couch to 5K, great places to start as well. But if you're right at the very basics, you haven't moved for years, stretching, but I would start with solitary walks in nature.
Wow, we forget how powerful they are for physical and mental health, right?
Absolutely. And then maybe just doing me things like, stepping side to side. Even if you're trying to squat and things like that, you just let your legs take a tiny bit of weight, a few inches, and up. You don't have to be 90 degrees butt to the floor. I mean, that's not what it's about, honestly. Take your time and maybe get a PT and talk about a SMART goal with him.
Exactly. Allow yourself like the support and the guidance as well.
I think the fitness industry gets a bit of a hard rap as well, but there's some really fabulously supportive group fitness exercise pros, PTs, great classes. There are so many that can help you just start. If you like music, exercise to music's a great place to go as well. I love, I teach loads of seniors exercise to music. We do classes like Walk Fit. And so, and then maybe, we'll just be doing it to music and we'll have fun. And before we know it, half an hour's up and they've done 3,000 steps.
Amazing.
People up in their 90s.
Yeah. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. How fulfilling as well.
It is. It's a wonderful thing. And anybody, you could start anywhere, but that would be my advice. Think about what gives you joy, because it has to be about movement you enjoy, not what you see somebody else doing or you think. It has to be what you like, because you'll just not stick to it otherwise.
Absolutely.
It's like diets.
It's the same, isn't it? Right? It is absolutely the same.
Absolutely the same.
Where could we, if anybody's watching this video and they also maybe, because you're always doing great things on social media, I might just say, so where can people find you and follow you and stuff like that as well?
I mean, if you're on Instagram, you just come on to Allisol, ALLISOL, Allisol. That's where I am. I'm there most days doing my stories and putting up. But it's mainly all cooking reels because that's what I love. I put exercise, and then there's a link there. There's a link on there that you can go to my website. And every single week, I share with my subscribers as we do a wee bit of chat. So this week it was about about the diabetes problem that we've got in the UK. 5 million. Looking at different things. So what could we do? So what I did was I thought, well, what about us? So we talk about, again, SMART carbs, not no carbs in the certification, but in the fat loss formula, but SMART carbs. So maybe like one of the you know, like I did like a frittata breakfast, about thinking about having protein, but, you know, thinking about smart
Yes.
carbs there as well. So there's always a recipe. There's always an exercise video that you can do at home. You know, I'll just go through it bit by bit. You can do any level that you want. It's always to music, because that's me. I love music. And then also a little bit of education around it. And that was me talking about the latest statistics that come up in that study. So I just combine these three things together.
Yeah.
And share that. But I had a few complaints because I haven't been that regular, but I've explained to them that I've been studying my certification.
I've been very busy. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna put your Instagram link under the video and stuff like that as well. I think you're doing amazing things, and for us, like having someone like you, obviously that's in the fitness industry, come in, you know, train with us, and then go out, because you're going back out into the industry and combining all these things together. Like, I mean, that's absolutely incredible. So excited.
And I would say that once, for anybody as well who is again thinking about joining the certification, is that one thing you will feel is connected.
Oh,
there's a real connection.
Yeah, you're right. There is. I mean, I think the connection is probably, as you say, one of the most important aspects of it, right? Is it? I mean,
absolutely. Even although you're moving out, it's not like you're thrown out. You'll always have that connection, because you're made to feel welcome. You're made to feel connected. You know, part of the ethos is the compassion, the non-judgment, the kindness, the empathy, and that stays with you forever. So even although you're moving on to do other things once you've done the certification, or just, you know, wherever you go, that you'll always be connected, you'll always be a part, because that's how you're made to feel.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I'm just thinking, you know, when I come to the UK, hopefully soon, at one point, are you going to come down? And if I'm going to do an event, you're going to be leading us the fitness event, right? You would do that.
You try and stop me, whatever you like.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, for sure. You'll get us up dancing and stuff like that, right?
Definitely. I'll do your fitness for you. That's what I love.
It'll be so good. So good. I love it.
Anyway, when are you coming?
Well, I'm going over I'm going to be in the UK, like in August. That's for family, because I haven't been home in a couple of years. So I need to show my face now at this point. They're all looking for me. But we are going to be coming back, and I think it's probably going to be end of September, but we might be there for a month. We've got a lot of things to do, a lot of events that we want to do, a lot of connection. So I will keep you posted. Obviously, with certification stuff, you'll be involved anyway, but I would love to also collaborate as well.
Absolutely. I want to be able to support the Weight Loss Academy in every way that I can, because I'm grateful. I feel real gratitude to have been a part of something, you know, and I'm part of something special, because, as I say, when you go to do other things, I've done other things, but I've never had the connection and your welcome doormat, and it really did mean something. It really meant, and it does mean something. So I know I'm not going anywhere, and I want to be able to take this mission forward, because, you know, I want to have that passion and share it with the Weight Loss Academy as well. We talk about, you know, we've spoken about that in the certification, didn't we? We'd go, well, it's the Weight Loss Academy, but it's just so much more.
It is. I know. And I often think, like, do I need to change the name of this company? But I'm like, I can't now at this point. I mean, everything's just in it. But, you know, as you say, it is so much more than that, you know. And maybe that's a little surprise element, right?
Definitely it is. It's you created something really wonderful, and for me it was you know, that connection, and it's something that, you know, I'll always be grateful for, and helped me immensely to be able to articulate what I'm doing as well. So I'm very proud, and
thank you so much. Yeah, it's amazing. And I think, you know, that's the thing, it's all about community. So we all have, you know, similar missions, whether we're independent, working together, whatever, we are all part of, you know, a community together.
Absolutely.
So watch this space, everyone, right? We're really only getting started, essentially.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You know, well, you know, we're already looking at menopause, aren't we? We're looking at that in the certification.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at that beyond. I mean, that's something that's a real interest to me, as being a postmenopausal female who wants to stay fit, who wants to fight frailty, who wants a health span rather than a lifespan.
Oh,
you know?
yes. Yeah.
And I know that I can do that with the Weight Loss Academy, because we've got everything there that we need. Everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I have really enjoyed this conversation. I mean, I feel like I could talk to you all day, so that will probably happen at one point. But
Definitely.
yeah, I really, really, really appreciate
I
it
look
today.
forward to that day.
Yeah. And I hope everybody that's had a little listen today, you've enjoyed this conversation.